Three-point sniper, basketball IQ, tenacious player, man.
And when he got hot, it didn't matter if he was on him or not.
He just turned around and launched it. And Tober say, off, that's off. He say, awful good.
And I said, oh, it's true about this boy.
Why do you think people hate on Larry Bird?
He's white.
He had a little bit of nigga.
Yeah, he was different now. He was different now. Larry was different now.
See, like when I played, Larry Bird was the biggest shit talker.
Yes.
But he was. I always say he was shit talking, but he was backing it up. So really, he wasn't shit talking. He was just telling you what he was going to do.
He was a quiet shit talker.
Yeah.
He would like go by you and say, I'm going to hit this now.
Yeah.
We were playing, and Tom Tolbert was playing Larry and guarding him pretty well. Larry picked up the ball, and he couldn't find no one. And Tolbert was all over him. You know, he couldn't find it. He just turned around and launched it. And Tolbert say, off, that's off. He say, awful good. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, man, he was a tough cookie. My grandmother, that was her favorite player.
Larry Bird.
Yeah, Larry Bird. And I can remember the first time I scored 20, I called my grandmother and I'm like, hey, I had a good game last night. I had a good game. She said, did you ring that goal like Larry Bird? I didn't ring it like him, but I mean, like, because Larry Bird, if you remember, his shot used to go off the TV screen.
Yeah.
He used to shoot so high.
Yeah,
See, he had a high arc. He would go off the TV screen, it just drops.
If Larry Bird played in this era, I think he'd be in Europe.
Yeah, he said that same stupid shit back in the mid-'80s when he said that if he was a black player, he'd be just another good guy. Get the fuck out of here. Larry Bird was the truth, man. Again, most people said wasn't athletic, couldn't jump, said he couldn't even jump over a phone book was the joke.
He couldn't jump over a phone booth.
Larry was the truth, man. Three-point sniper, basketball IQ off the charts, tenacious player, man. Would tell players what he was going to do.
Oh, yeah,
and
trash
then do
talking
it.
was on a different
Trash
level.
talking like a motherfucker. 3 championships, several MVPs, Hall of Fame, Olympic medalist. Stop it.
Why do you think people hate on Larry Bird?
He's white.
He's white.
I think most true fans of basketball, especially blacks included, they know the deal. They know, but nobody's really, the people that are hating on Larry Bird are simply haters. Because there's no way, if you know anything about that man's criteria, his record, his skill, hating on him is like hating on Eminem. Like, get the fuck out of here. If Magic and Bird saved the NBA, Michael took it to the next stratosphere.
Yeah.
And no one has done that since.
For example, if you put a one-on-one game, if you want to go racial with it, if you want to go Jokic versus Larry Bird in their prime.
Yeah, see, that would be Larry Bird.
Yeah. He's just a more skilled, you think, player on the court, one-on-one?
He was built more of a one. Larry Bird would probably beat LeBron one-on-one.
Really? Ooh.
Because one-on-one, it takes away from everything LeBron has, right? His physical strength, his speed, all that power he has going. Well, in one-on-one, you're talking about 1-2 dribbles. That's not his
pointers. And
that's not his
like that.
game.
Yeah.
That's Larry's whole game. LeBron needs to back up, and then I'm going to use all my physical attributes to come at you.
When I first met him, I said, all right, I'm going to see if this white cat can really go like he's saying,
Because the verdict is always out on white boys that can hoop. With all due respect, it's always out.
It's respect. This ain't nothing bad. So I said, let me see what he can do.
But Larry's had something that most white boys don't have. Just say that. Just keep it real.
Man,
Larry was different now. Larry was different now.
He had a little bit of nigga.
Yeah, he was different now. He was different now. Larry was different now.
That boy, he could play, man. He turned it out. We played on a team in college in a tournament together. This is the first time I ever sat on the bench. Him and I were on the bench. And we were like, the guys in front of us wasn't better than us, but Kentucky head coach was coaching the team, so he started 3 guys from Kentucky. So we said, okay. But when we got in the game, we turned it out. But I saw this dude eat Jack Givens up. He was player of the year that year.
Kentucky, right?
Yeah, from Kentucky. And Larry Bird was just slicing and dicing him. And I said, oh, I called home. I said, it's true about this boy. I was calling everybody, this dude can play.
Yeah.
And so that was my first time seeing him, and then to be out on the court with him in college for that national championship game, and then, of course, what happened in the NBA. But I would say that what a blessing it was. He ended up in Boston, and then I ended up out here. My personality was LA, Hollywood. His personality was Boston, and it worked for the whole league, you know, so everything was good.
People ask me all the time, who's the hardest player? And I always say him. I played against Michael Jordan, George Gervin, Andrew Toney, And those guys, when they pass the ball, they have a tendency to take a break for a second. Larry never was going to take a break. Larry's going to go get an offensive rebound. He's going to go set a back pick. He's going to do something to impact that possession. So that's why he was the hardest.
He's about, what, 6'8", 6'9"?
6'9".
6'9".
A lot of people compare us, and a lot of people put one above the other.
He was your main inspiration, is that not right?
Yeah, he did. Larry used to be a very talented basketball player. He still is. And whenever I was about his height, he used to wear me out in the backyard. And I guess from that determination just to beat him, I guess that made me work hard. Mm-hmm. And, he's just an outstanding basketball player at his height.
I get so many questions about Larry Bird. The thing is, was he really that good? I said, yeah, he was really that good. White, black, green, and yellow. He was really that good. When you see a player like Luka and you see a player like Dirk, they're great players, but they're not Larry Bird by no means. And you have to have a great appreciation to play against a guy who athletically every single night, he was at a disadvantage, but yet mentally and the way that his work ethic was, he was way above the game. He was way above everybody else.
Larry didn't have the speed, couldn't jump, but he could shoot and he could work. He was big, strong, Buford Pusser type. He had a lot of skills. He could pass. He was ambidextrous. You had to be like on him. You couldn't give him any space. And when he got high, it didn't matter if he was on him or not.
Larry Bird was already from French Lick. He was born, and I love the story he told. I used to go over to where the black players play.
Yeah.
And all the guys, and Larry said, you know what? I wasn't afraid of them. But I just wanted to play with them because I knew that was the best. And I always wanted to compete against the best. So when you look at that from his grounding and the foundation that he laid for himself and being the player he became, going to Indiana State and losing the Magic, a black player, I think that kind of put that desire in him to even want to become better. But all that is made early on when he's going out competing against black players in the hood. He's going over to the other side of town to play basketball because he wanted to play with the best. And I'm not saying there were any white players that weren't the best, but that was his thinking at that time. Larry Bird was one of the best because you know what? Every game, every year, he was going to do something to try to win it.
Like, are you kidding me? Larry Bird in this era?
We hadn't seen it
Who's
then.
going to be matched up against Larry Bird? Karl Anthony Towns.
That's a nightmare, man.
For Karl Anthony Towns. Because that dude can play basketball. Really play basketball.
No, 100%.
Really play basketball.
100%.
Hey, bro, really play basketball.
That's not what the question was.
Hey, really play basketball, and he mean, and he like.
Oh, he talking wild too.
And he mean, and he.
But I'm saying, what is he gonna do? But what is he gonna do with KD? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, KD is
what is he gonna
What
do?
is KD gonna do with Bird? Bird is unguardable.
I was just about to ask that.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I don't know, yeah.
That's what I'm
don't
saying.
think I want to see
Bro,
what
you
he'll
don't
do
want to
to
see
KD.
that.
I don't think I would.
How many times in the eras of all the dope stars, when they match up, ain't nobody cracking each other like that?
As a player, I'll put him up against anybody.
Right.
Especially in a playoff series.
Right.
So nasty. Pass it, talk shit like crazy,
Yeah.
but quietly. Only to you. Just to you, and which messes you up more.
Yeah.
But as a coach, we're playing preseason, Larry's first year coaching. We're leaving Indiana, going to Nashville for a preseason game. It's like 10:58, everyone's on the plane. David Craig, the trainer, comes up to Larry. Travis and Dale, they're coming from the jetway or whatever. So the plane's running down, taking off. Travis and Dale are running after the plane. Running, literally. We took off. Everyone's like, save Dale, save Dale. After that day, though, no one ever laid again. That was preseason, which was perfect timing.
Well, set the
But
standard.
Larry was so blunt and to the point. Halftime, you'd be like, you fucking stars don't start playing, man. In 5 minutes, I'm taking your ass out. I remember a game in Milwaukee. I'm like 4 for 9, whatever. You're not playing great, but not. He said, Molly, come here. You gonna make a fucking shot or what, man?
Larry Bird basically taught me how to trash talk. It was my second game of my career, and Cotton Fitzsimmons started. And I'm scared to death already. Bird walks out at the jump, and the veterans on my team said, Eddie, just don't pay attention to him. So I minded my own business on the jump. And he walks out, and he just stands next to me, and he leans over and he looks at me. He said, do you honestly think you're gonna guard me, motherfucker? Curse that. Like, what? I just didn't say nothing. Then he stands up and he looks over at our bench and he looks at Cotton. You all think this rookie gonna guard me? Man, I'm gonna bust you up, just right in my ear. And I'm just looking forward. I'm like, And so by that time, all the guys on the floor is just cracking up, even my teammates. I'm like, would this official please throw this ball up? So the official couldn't throw the ball up because there was something going on the side. Well, then finally he walks around, stands in front of me, he said, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna wear your ass out. And then I looked at him, I said, I'm here, don't worry about it. I said, you ain't intimidating nobody. I said, I'm from Chicago, where you from? He started laughing. Game starts, and he's just wearing me out. And I'm trying to go back at him. I'm shooting bricks. And in the fourth quarter he was in, it was late. Game was kind of close. And he came down, he said, you talking all that junk. I bet you can't do this. And he raises up from Steph Curry range. And he shoots an air ball. And I look at him, he like, that don't matter. It's the fact that I can do it and stay in the game. I bet you can't. I'm like, okay.